Hey everyone, welcome back to Local Living. I'm Anna Christina. It's time for Campbell's Corner. Now he's not with us today, but we have a very special guest filling in for him. We love exploring with UGA Extension, but today filling in is Millage Peterson. He's the owner of Bedford Greenhouses. Thank you so much for having me out here.
No, very glad to have you.
Yes,
Thanks for coming.
Campbell does such a great job exploring the city and the area that we live in and talking to us all about home and garden horticulture. It's kind of crazy the amount that he knows about all this stuff.
He
He's
knows
awesome.
a lot.
He does.
Being from Augusta, I mean, he's lived here and has,
very
been
familiar.
a part of it. Right.
Right. And so now, Millage, what's interesting about your story is that you actually loved this as a hobby.
Correct.
And then took over this business, which was built in the 40s.
Correct.
About 18 years ago.
Yes.
Tell me about that. You went from corporate to this.
Corporate to this, you're right. Just a total flip. Wife and I both had great careers. We enjoyed them, but at the end of the day, it's just not where our passion was.
Right.
So we kind of threw it to the wind, and we're fortunate enough that this nursery was looking to turn over, and we stepped in, and here we are.
Took over.
It's been great.
Which is awesome and a great story to know about, because if you're out there and you're wanting to take on something you love, well, know that it's possible. Millage has done it. And listen, if you have any questions about home and garden and outdoors, you'd be the place to come to. And you also have the resources and the plants. You grow them here. Tell me about that in the process.
Yes, we have about an acre's worth of greenhouses. It's all heated. So believe it or not, starting this week, we will be planting spring flowers. We encourage you not to want to buy them yet. Give us a little bit more time to get them ready, but we'll grow them all right here, and then when the season turns over, we'll be ready to go.
Well, and let's talk about that, because people do get excited, I think, in Georgia. One day in the winter, it's winter, and then the next day it could be summer.
Absolutely.
And it feels like
is.
It's the appropriate time to plant, which I know really nothing about. Why don't you let us know, when is the appropriate time to start planting?
A little bit depends on what you're planting. Certainly now in the wintertime, you want to look at more of your trees and your shrubs, your larger items that you'd be putting in, kind of foundation plants, if you will. The best time for that is now. I mean, we've had a lot of rain over the last several weeks and into the last month, so a lot of groundwater, so you can plant, camellias are really good things, dogwood trees, really whatever you like, you could do that now and really not have to worry about keeping it watered, not have to worry about the heat.
Right.
And then, as we get a little bit closer to springtime, then you can kind of finish things up with more of your flowers.
Right, and you said something to me as we were preparing for this. So really, if you are excited about spring and flowers, maybe just focus on the groundwork, getting things prepped so that when the time comes, it is a little bit easier for that type of planting.
Right, what I always call, there's a difference between yard work and gardening. This is really a good time to do the yard work, where you go in and get your vegetable beds turned over, you clean up from all the leaves that have fallen. The work that's not always the most fun, but at the end of the day is really what makes your garden look the best.
Absolutely.
And then the gardening is more of the fun part. That's more putting the plants in and planting those tomatoes and so forth. So.
And the time will come. It's just about that patience, so that when everything starts to bloom, then it does so correctly, right? And
Absolutely.
It actually happens. Well, you guys need to come out and visit Bedford Greenhouses. They actually have a shop where you can get more than just plants and flowers and shrubs and all of that. Tell me about what to find in there.
A lot of home decor. We do a lot with pottery. Large pots for the outside of your home. Small stuff for inside as well. So.
Well, Millage, thank you so much for having us out here. Now, if you are wanting to visit and you're wondering where it is, why don't you give us a location?
We are in the Lake Olmsted area of Augusta, so just about a mile or so from the old Green Jacket Stadium. So you can look us up online, and directions are there.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having us out, and thank you for tuning in. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have more on Local Living.